Hello and welcome to the Spaghetti Junction podcast. My name is
To the
Bruce.
who? My name is Gareth. The
I
Baguetti.
haven't done it. I haven't done it in so long. It's sort of like a little bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
And we talk about things.
We just
Just
don't know where
don't
they're gonna go.
know where it's gonna
Where
go.
they're gonna go. Yeah. How's it, man?
How's it going, dude? Another week.
Good. I just want to apologize that Bruce's feed is mm, I've got better words for it, but I don't want to get
Yes.
cancelled.
Apparently,
I don't want to get
my.
cancelled.
That's
No,
okay.
apparently. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's an issue with Bruce's camera and setup,
Camera.
but we don't know what it is.
It's not the camera that Gareth very kindly bought me. Let's
Yeah,
just say that
it's
it's a StreamYard thing.
yeah. Well, it's just yeah. See, but if it was a StreamYard thing, then I wouldn't be clear like this.
Yeah. Or no, because you're paying you paying for the service, whereas I'm where it only lets me do full HD if I pay for it from my side as well.
Yeah. Well,
That's
you
why.
mean it meant to be
That's great.
720p, but
Even
that's a
that, I don't
lie.
know.
It's a
It's a
lie.
lie.
Yes, it's a lie. So,
Anyway.
anyways, welcome back for another episode. Eh?
Yeah, got an interesting one today. Talking about doing an update on Lauren Dickerson.
That's right.
Damn it, man! You know, I was frustrated today. I looked for my notes that I'd made from the first time we did it, and I can't find them. And I really wanted to look back on them and just like see what all I'd written, and I can't for the life of me find them.
The
So I
life
was
of you.
annoyed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. That's all right.
so it would have been cool, but anyway.
Yeah, we can send people to we can send you guys to our when we did the episode
Yes, we
on
can.
her
Yeah,
like literally
that's
that
what
one
that's
like
what I
her
could have done.
like yeah, well, exactly. It's like it's
I don't
about a
even
year
think.
and a half to 2 years ago, a year and a half or so
Yes.
was when
Yeah.
we did it,
Okay.
and now it's back on track. Anyways, you were gonna have a this you wanted to chat about your evening day yesterday.
Oh, well, not really evening. It was in the morning, through until about lunchtime. So, for the listeners who don't know, I teach at a music school, and once a year we do a band workshop. So we give the kids a lot of them their first opportunity to actually get into a band, learn a song, learn how to play as part of a band, and then play on stage.
Okay.
And yeah, so 2 Fridays rehearsal, and then we stick them on stage at the Barnyard Theatre at Silver Star Casino, which is in Joburg, for those people who don't live in Joburg. And yeah, that whole concert happened Saturday. My time. Oh, jeez, these time differences.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and it went brilliantly. Those kids did fantastically. Smoothest band workshop ever. I did an acoustic version of Manic Monday by the Beatles. I mean, by the Bangles. Sorry,
Beatles.
Beatles. Sorry,
Wow.
sorry. And and then surprised Gareth by telling him that I was going to play on stage help play a Taylor Swift song as well. So yeah, it actually went pretty well. Yes, and I'm not the biggest Tay fan in the world. So.
What what made you do a Taylor Swift one?
No, I was one of the teachers that had to hop in and help out on guitar. Sometimes we do, because maybe there's one guitar missing, or there was another teacher playing bass as well. You know, sometimes we got to hop in and help out.
Ah, okay.
So it wasn't. I just got asked and said, "Oh, okay,
I'll do it.
yeah,
But
yeah."
it,
But that was
it
my
went
that was
well.
my weekend. Yes, yeah, I'm glad it's over. We normally do it at the end of the year, but nowadays we do it in the middle of the year because December is insane. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, so yeah,
nice
I'm
one.
glad it was good. So yeah, another milestone finished for the year.
And you're saying that you actually sang with one song.
Yes, I did it. A couple of the teachers did items in between, and then a teacher band actually finished off the show with a medley. But then in the middle of the show, along with a lot of other students doing solo performances, I got up on just with acoustic guitar and did Manic Monday. It's one of my songs in
Okay,
my acoustic repertoire. So yeah,
nice one.
Yeah.
Nice
So
one,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
More
good
experience.
on you. Well, exactly. The more you do it, the better you become, eh?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I don't really have a lot really of my life the last week. So
Yeah.
yeah. Normally I have something to say, but I was actually telling Bruce now that I'm not feeling 100% great. But we do it for the podcast. So after this, I'm
So
gonna.
we'll see how we go.
Yeah, no, we'll be all right. I'll just Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll get it. And I was also just telling Bruce that my camera my camera battery will probably die somewhere, so the screen might go blank on my side. But what can we do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lauren Dickerson, we did the episode, and I did just need to work out as to like what as to what I should have actually checked, as to like what number it was. But I'll just tell you now as we're going through it. Um, you can talk in the background.
Okay, so just to do a bit of a recap about Lauren Dickerson, if you are new to the show and you have no clue what we're talking about, Lauren Dickerson is a South African who
Yeah,
moved to her to New Zealand from South Africa in September 2021.
yeah.
Um,
Okay,
a
sorry.
husband and
That
three daughters.
is sorry to jump in. That is episode 49. That was when we were
Episode
still
49.
doing
Okay.
yeah. That was when we were still doing audio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back then.
Supposedly
Holy.
it's a year ago that we have this running. Um, yeah.
Okay.
So episode 49 was the last episode in audio. Cool. Carry on.
Right. Okay. And basically, what happened is less than a month after them immigrating to New Zealand, um, Lauren actually took the lives of her three daughters. Her one daughter was 6, and then she had twin daughters that were 2 years old. And she was then subsequently arrested
Were
and
they
has
two?
spent.
Were they 2 years old?
Yes, the twins were 2 years
Okay.
old,
Okay.
and the older daughter was 6. Yeah,
Okay.
and she has subsequently been remanded to a sort of a high
Psychiatric
a
unit.
psychiatric hospital, and that under obviously under guard and all of that kind
And
of thing.
she's been there
And
for about a year and a half, I think. Yeah, a
yes,
year and a half to 2 years.
yeah, and she yeah, and now her trial has been happening and all of that. You had to wait quite a long time for the actual trial to start.
Yeah, I remember that we spoke about it, and it
Mm.
was like a year and a half to go. And like, what? How does that? Yeah, so she's been under lock and key in a psychiatric unit for
I
almost two
think,
years.
yeah, I think it was the time was needed for evaluation, basically,
Yeah.
and then obviously she still has to go to trial. So yeah, so now this is all the stuff that's now coming out from all the evaluations
Yeah.
that, and there seem to be two differing stories from two different psychologists who or psychiatrists who studied her.
Yeah.
So so that's
Well,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're just gonna have a look at something quickly as to like a mini recap of the courts, and then we'll jump into it
Cool.
from there. All
Cool.
right.
In the matter of the Crown against Lauren and Dickerson, please place Lauren and Dickerson before the court.
The Crown say that on the evening of the 16th of September 2021, in Timaru, Liané Dickerson, aged 6, and twins Maya and Karla Dickerson, aged 2, died. Now, they were asphyxiated by way of cable ties being applied to the neck, and the person responsible for that was their mother, Lauren Dickerson, a recent immigrant to New Zealand from South Africa. Now, when they failed to die by way of the cable ties being applied to their neck, the Crown say that the defendant smothered the girls with their blankets before she made...
Sorry about this. I'm just trying to cut this out. What? So this is all still new, people. I'm just trying to there we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to make it a bigger screen for us, and it's just being irritating. So I'm just trying to make it like a larger screen. So sorry guys, I'm just gonna redo this again so we can keep track of it, because the screen wasn't great.
Cool.
So sorry, I'm just gonna remove that and redo it again. All right. Give me a chance, people. Sorry, this is also new and fun and games that I'm trying to work with here that I haven't used before. So give me a chance.
The learning curve of being a StreamYard producer.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Let me just stop the screen. Ah, there we go. Right. So let me just get us going. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm going to share screen again. Yeah, there we go. All right, can you see it, Bruce?
It's busy loading. There we go.
Right. We're good?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, let's try that again.
In the matter of the Crown against Lauren and Dickerson, please place Lauren and Dickerson before the court.
The Crown say that on the evening of the 16th of September 2021 in Timaru, Liané Dickerson, aged 6, and twins Maya and Karla Dickerson, aged 2, died. Now, they were asphyxiated by way of cable ties being applied to the neck, and the person responsible for that was their mother, Lauren Dickerson, a recent immigrant to New Zealand from South Africa. Now, when they failed to die by way of the cable ties being applied to their neck,
Just be aware,
the
guys.
Crown say that the defendant smothered the girls with their blankets before she made an attempt on her own life.
Lauren Dickerson was a loving mother and wife. She loved Liané, Maya and Karla very much, and yet she killed them. And as you've just heard, it was violent and it was prolonged. But afterwards, she put her girls in their beds, she tucked them in with their soft toys, she covered them up with their blankets, and then she took an overdose of pills trying to kill herself. But she failed.
During the course of the investigation, the defendant's cell phone was seized and her messaging was analysed, and that messaging, the Crown say, is a snapshot into what was running through Ms. Dickerson's mind. She messaged a friend and said, "I'm going to start Liané on Augmentin, which is antibiotics, tonight. She woke me up until 3 a.m. this morning, but I sent her to school, otherwise I would strangle her. She moans all the time, kicked me out of bed while I wanted to comfort her, was just in tears." After some further lockdown notifications from the South African government in July, she sends a message to another one of her friends. "I can't anymore. I'm afraid I'm going to take out my whole family if they announce this tonight." Then again in September, Maya received 3 smacks on her nappy today and sat in the naughty corner. After that, she was well behaved and sweet as honey. So discipline is not necessarily a bad thing at their age. They know they are sometimes little.
This is brutal. It's confronting. It's difficult to hear and to imagine. We understand that. You will be rightly shocked and horrified today. That's understandable because what Lauren Dickerson did was shocking and horrifying. And you might well be thinking, what mother could do that to their children? A terrible person is what the Crown would have you believe, who resented her children and who wanted them gone. But the truth is that Lauren Dickerson is a woman who longed to be a mother, who went through 17 rounds of IVF to have her 3 daughters. She wanted those children very much and she loved her family. It's okay to be shocked and horrified about what you've heard, about what happened. That is a normal reaction. But as jurors, at the same time, your job is to keep an open mind. You have sworn an oath, which requires you to do just that. And so you can't decide these issues today based on your emotions and your feelings, because all you've heard is the Crown opening statement, and that is not the full story.
There it is.
Okay.
So that's a rough, and hopefully before the video played there was a bit of a warning because obviously it's a bit distressing.
Yeah, I did see there was the
Oh, you
warning
did
there.
see it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you were warned in advance. Sorry, guys. I didn't pre-warn you, but there was a warning on the video.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I must say I've learned from researching now. There's a lot of new information that we didn't know when we first talked about this.
Yeah.
One of the facts was that she was sort of hinting at wanting to hurt the children even before they left South Africa.
That's right.
And it seems to me like I think the whole lockdown thing had a big part to play in exacerbating quite a bit of her depression and anxiety, because she was suffering from depression and anxiety,
Yeah.
as part of her everyday life. And I think, like a lot of people, when you're told to stay at home indefinitely and can't do much, it can really sort of what are the words, sort of just increase all of those things, and you're having to deal with kids, and it's just got crazy for a lot of people.
Yes, I know. Yes, 100%. There was actually a really good. Well, it was another point of someone who actually who left a comment on this on our on episode 49.
Yeah.
At Rebecca 8435, it's 8434 says, reality check for any young couple with young children and women attempting to keep husband happy who only had negative beliefs of South Africa. That part I don't think that happened. Anyways, he should have known how much she was suffering. She is a professional person just like her husband. If she could work as well, even a half day. It's very difficult for a highly functional woman to stay home with 3 kids. She had a wonderful nanny and grandparents in South Africa. Now he's back in Pretoria, the same country he was negative about, which I don't think he was. But anyways, he was in a hurry and did not accommodate anyone except himself. That's a view of one of our subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that she wanted kids. I mean, she went through a ton of rounds of
Yeah, I think
artificial
said,
fit.
11, I think it said.
Actually, at 17.
Oh wait, okay.
17 rounds
Sorry,
of
yeah, I think that's what they mentioned. Yeah.
17 rounds of in vitro fertilization, and she also did lose a baby at 18 weeks old.
Yeah.
So obviously that's gonna make a big impact.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and I think just with I think it just got on top of her, obviously, having to deal with the depression and stuff like that, and she was on antidepressants and on anti-anxiety.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got so many people nowadays dealing with depression and anxiety in such larger numbers.
But as someone has said, and there was actually another comment as well. I can't find it right now, but they
Mm.
were saying that everybody, not everybody, but people labor under the exact same stuff, but they don't go out and kill their kids.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's no excuse. It's no excuse. So yeah, I'm
But
not.
yeah, but I hear what you're saying. There were like underlying factors.
Yeah. And if you can't, and yeah, I think most people probably possess the ability to handle themselves, even though they're going through that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it happens that someone can't handle it, and stuff comes out in really ugly ways.
Oh
And
yeah.
and
Um,
unfortunately, this was one of them.
so I was following up on the on the case so far, and there's obviously views from both sets of psychiatrists. Where the
Yes.
defense is trying to put it that that's exactly how you're saying, that she was under a lot of duress and she didn't really know what she was doing. The Crown's prosecutor mentioned the other side, so I'll just mention a few things,
Cool.
just doing a bit of background stuff. So I'll just read you to actually what happened here. So um, so I believe it's a psychiatric, but it was somebody who basically interviewed Lauren Dickerson early this year. Said at the time of her offending, Dr. Lauren Dickerson. Yes, because we actually forget that she is actually a doctor as well. Um, she was laboring under a disease of the mind to such an extent that it rendered her incapable of knowing her acts were morally wrong. Her diagnosis. Okay, so she was in the psychiatric department. Her diagnosis of the defendant was that she presented with symptoms consistent with a major depressive disorder with psychotic features. She found that the disorder had a, I'm going to say this wrong, but that's okay. She found that the disorder had a peripartum, peripartum, I mean, big words on this podcast.
Peripartum.
Thank you very much. Had a peripartum onset. Um, I'd be lying if I understood, if I knew what that
I'm
meant.
I'm looking it up in my dictionary right now because I also don't know it.
Peripartum onset. Um,
We're all about learning big words here on the Spaghetti Junction podcast.
peripartum. Thank you. I definitely wouldn't have said that.
Okay, so Apple's dictionary is officially useless.
Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't contain the word.
Okay. I'll find it for us. I'll find it. Yeah, I know, but it is also, an apple as well, so it's not your fault.
Wow.
Well, come on, mine works perfectly. It was so easy. Um, so peripartum, peripartum. Um, okay. So this is what it says here. Peripartum um, is linked with the. Okay, I have only got peripartum cardiomyopathy. It doesn't help us at all. So sorry, guys. After
Okay.
all of that, it's just I
Well,
don't. Oh, here we go. Peripartum depression. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is exactly what we're looking for. Peripartum depression is a serious but treatable medical illness. Okay, so it's psychiatric, involving feelings of extreme sadness, indifference, and anxiety, as well as changes in energy, sleep, and appetite. And it carries risks for the mother and child. And an estimated 1 in 7 women experiences peripartum depression. It refers to depression occurring during pregnancy or after childbirth. The use of the term recognizes that depression associated with having a baby often begins during pregnancy. Now, so this is saying that she had been feeling this way, therefore, for 2 years at least.
yeah.
So I don't know how they can work that out, but that's what the defense is trying to hold on to, is that she'd been feeling like this for, well, obviously at least more than 2 years, and
Yeah.
because of that, it had impacted her, her thinking and her way of addressing life, and had been in some form of depression for a very long time.
Yeah. Whereas Dr. Eric Monasterio interviewed her 4 times, and his diagnosis was on the other side of things. So there's here's where we get the different the differing diagnoses. Whereas he said, yes, okay, she is depressed, but she was not severe. She was not at the severe end of the scale, and she was not meeting thresholds for sort of insanity. She demonstrated awareness, um, no sort of psychotic um, tendencies, and yeah, it seems like his diagnosis was, I think she was very, very aware of what she was doing.
Yeah,
Um,
he also
so
said that that, and it's very interesting points. So he looked at her high levels of functioning, in the lead up to to what's happening, and he's made some interesting points there. He says that she was able to organize all the requirements to travel to New Zealand, and as we know, well, not for me, but in general, if you are moving countries, and you're not, and you don't have citizenship and so forth, there's a huge amount of requirements,
yeah,
and planning, and you're also saying that that all of those requirements were not straightforward, so it took a lot of planning and work, and research and so forth,
correct.
and he was also saying that his words were particularly impressed, with the ways in which she engaged in the 2 days immediately before the killings. He said, like, at this time as well, she engaged in continuous correspondence, with like with government agencies. She sent and received text messages. She read the news.
Right.
She engaged, in humorous exchanges. It says, and he says that that those are the objective measures indicating. He basically says that she wasn't that impaired, and said, in my opinion, as the defendant maintained awareness and behaved systematically, there is no evidence she was in an autistic state, or that she did not understand the nature and quality of her actions at the material time.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, we got the prosecution was also the prosecution was suggested that she had reasons. One of her reasons to kill the children was to get revenge on her husband. That she had that she was upset with him for some reason. I'm not sure, but it doesn't give reasons why.
Okay, all right. So
Um,
on that, um, from what I understand, I think it was possible, and again, they don't know. It was possible the anger came from, thinking that he had an affair. But this is all hearsay.
yeah,
There was another view that she was going to take her own life, but did not want someone else, another woman raising her children,
right,
and having another, woman, as part of her husband's life. And because she was going to kill herself, then she just felt, well, I'll take the kids with me as well, so that there's no, so that they aren't put in anyone's hands, or with him, who I don't know if she despised him at all. I just think, so like I say, there's a lot of hearsays on this
Yeah,
one.
yeah. And then the the psychiatrist, Dr. Hattis Friedman, she was the lady who sort of sides with the fact that Lauren didn't actually know what she was doing. She was in she she's of the opinion that Lauren's motive for killing the girls was altruistic. So she believes that Lauren believed that she was removing the children from an unsafe environment by taking their lives.
Yeah.
That's one of her diagnoses. Um, because yeah, it's just that yeah, she saw that because of her own state of mind, believed that it was an unsafe environment, and and that's what her mind was telling her to do. So
Yes.
yeah,
And um, she had told the psychiatrist, that the night before she killed the girls, she says she had a strong sense, quote, that I needed space from the twins to sort out my emotions. The defendant reported that she then had non-specific thoughts of wanting to harm the twins, with a tight knot in her chest. Yeah. She had told him that she felt so cross with them, she could hurt them. And there's a whole pile uh, of WhatsApp messages, you know,
yeah,
saying things. One of them was saying, was a quotation that if only the kids, but mostly the twins could be away for a while, we may be able to manage. I had this feeling inside of me, I'm so cross with them I could hurt them. And then she had reported that she can remember thinking I was like a bottle of Coke that had been shaken and about to explode with all the built up pressure from weeks of confinement. That's a pretty strong one.
right,
That's a pretty
yeah,
strong one. How she's
yeah,
actually seeing how she's feeling like that intensely, and she felt like a bottle of Coke had been shaken and about to explode. Now
yeah.
was
And I
that the
mean,
reason? Now was that part of then why she did what she did? Because she felt that basically that just things were coming to a point um, that she couldn't handle. I mean, that she basically had no control over what she did because it was building up for so long. Her view slash her defense would be saying, well, it built up so much that when she did what she did to the children, she wasn't in much control because everything had come to such a boiling point that there was just reactions to it and she couldn't control it.
yeah, yeah. I think yeah, with being with being cooped up in that lockdown situation, even though they were in a different country. I mean, what were they were, I think that was still when you had to like spend time in a hotel or something for
That's
like a
correct,
week or
yes.
like a
I think
quarantine
they were
time.
there for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right.
in a hotel room, the kids can't really run around outside. It's they just
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
losing their collective minds, and they just can't get the kids to calm down at all or anything like that, and just yeah.
Yeah.
Um, jeez.
Yeah, on that, um,
Yeah, she
so
said.
he, yeah,
She just said, yeah. She when she told the one psychologist, Montesterio, she says, all I wanted was some quiet. I want this to stop. I don't want to feel like a bad parent anymore. Um, so maybe she was also maybe because she was feeling just a lack of control. She was feeling like she wasn't really doing her job as a good parent would because you know she she felt completely out of control, like the kids weren't listening to her. They wouldn't they wouldn't she was struggling to discipline the kids and all that kind of thing, and maybe she feeling like a bad parent to a mother was also obviously going to exacerbate the depression. Sure.
yeah. Well, when you mentioned, like that, like she had a hatred or like some form of issue with her husband. The only thing that I can find that was actually proof of that. Um, so it says it here. On the evening that she killed them, they took the children to the park And this is what happened when her husband walked away from them for whatever reason, we don't know. The twins started screaming for their dad, or Graham, and she says this brought up negative feelings. She felt like a failed mother, which is right, and they didn't want to be with me. So she obviously was suffering with some form of, not self-loathing, but she had a very bad self-image of it, as in just because their kids wanted to hang out with their dad at that present moment, she addressed it in like, oh my gosh, they don't love me, I'm a terrible mother, why is the father like this, why is my husband like that, and there was a bit of resentment is what it sounds like from what she's saying.
Yes. Also,
Resentment against her husband, even though he really hadn't done anything wrong.
yeah. Well, and on that, another article that I read as well was that she did feel that Graham, her husband, was giving the children more attention than her, kind of thing. He would sort of like, you know, but kind of was making the children a little bit more of a priority than his wife, and that would have also then brought up resentment and that kind of thing, where you can sense that stuff, so and that's so yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, so I guess I think the trial is. I think it's still going to be a while before they really reach some sort of conclusion. I think. Eh?
Yeah, on that, what's happening is that they were meant to be carrying on. I think they missed the Friday, and because one of their jurors is sick.
Oh yeah, I saw that as
next
well.
week would have been 3 week is going into the third week, but it sounds like it's going to be going on for at least another week. So they had planned for only 3 weeks, but
Okay.
but now that it looks like they're going to be going on for an extra week because there's so much to go through.
Yeah.
Um, that's yeah. Do you have like anything closing? Because we're gonna aim to finish these by 40 minutes, so we're a little bit left to go, but not that long.
Yeah.
Right. Finish this up.
I got a feeling okay. No, I mustn't say that. I think I do not feel. Um,
Oh, I
gotta
bet
watch
you're
my
laughing at
language.
your own joke. I'm not amused.
Well, no one's
No, no.
no one's gonna laugh at my jokes except me. So anyway,
Carry
um,
on.
I have a sense that she won't. I don't think she'll be. They'll be hitting the insanity route with this one.
No, no,
Um,
no. She is.
what do you
That's the
mean?
whole thing. As in, that's one of the defense's
Yeah.
reasons. So they are actually
Mm.
doing that. It's not that they're not going to do it. That's already one
No, I
of
mean,
their.
I don't think the insanity defense is going to be very strong. Let's just
Indeed,
put it
no,
that
that
way. So
sounds a lot more, makes more sense because they actually have been running that. You pretty much came across like they haven't been doing that, but they actually,
sorry,
that's one of
sorry.
their reasoning. How dare you
See,
be
no,
sorry?
my words sometimes
Nah,
get
it's all
mixed up.
good. So yes, I think. So, what's your view as to what the outcome might be? Although we will be addressing it again, I'm sure,
Yeah.
as we
Like
finish up.
yeah. I think they'll give her the maximum sentence for this crime. I don't think 3 years is. I don't think she'll get the 3 years
Yeah,
for the insanity side of things. But you
no,
never know. We'll just keep an eye on it and see what happens in the next week or two.
yeah. My feel as well is that I don't think, even if the jury believes her, 3 years is very small for. They would have to. Now, here's the, as we finish up, they will have to probably push more than 3 years. But a lot of the time, with other cases, not like hers, but in general, the court seems to be reasonably lenient. A lot of the cases, a lot of the different cases, in courts and
Yeah.
stuff, which a lot of them have been where the courts lenient with their time, as in, I don't think she should be given life. Knowing what
Okay.
happens here, she definitely won't be given life, but won't be given 3 years. I'd probably say
Right.
5 to 10 years, with
Okay.
a chance of parole, of early parole. So
Okay.
my feeling is that somewhere between 3 and 10 years, and she'll be out within, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. But she won't get life. I don't think so.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I guess we
Well,
will. Yeah.
tracking on that,
No.
we have finished another episode.
We have, yes, a full online
Full
streamed
episode.
episode
Yeah,
on
not
two
bad, eh?
different sides of the planet. That's not bad.
41 minutes. Yeah, no, that's good.
Awesome,
And my
dude.
camera buddy hasn't died yet, so that's also pretty good.
Hey, fantastic.
Yeah, well, then let me not say it, because it's going to happen soon.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
No. Well, dude, that was, yeah, so as Bruce is saying, we'll be following it over the next 2 weeks, and yeah, we'll be doing, like, I guess, like a final follow-up once
Yeah.
all the evidence has come through, and with whatever has been, whatever the outcome is.
Cool.
Um,
Awesome.
Yeah, nice one, pal.
Well,
So,
it's finally time for me to go to bed and for Gareth to
go to
actually
work soon.
have oh yeah, have
I'm
some
going to work
semblance of
soon,
us.
dude.
Yeah, you have
That's
to go
how
to work.
crazy
Yeah.
it is. When you're sleeping, I'm on my way to work. So, yeah, that's
Cool.
it, dude. Well, pal, that was fun. Or
Okay,
not.
this
The
this
topic
has-
wasn't fun, obviously.
yeah, no, it's also true.
But it was good catching up, and I'm glad we're getting better at this. I'm going to see if maybe I'll just, sign you up for like a month and see if that makes any change with your camera. Because, yeah, it's,
Let's see if that works.
it's a
Yeah.
bit manky. Manky is a word.
Yeah.
It's a bit manky.
I don't want to be manky.
You're manky right now.
I don't want to be
I mean, so that sounds bad, because it is. No, but it's not your fault. We'll try and sort out 1080p and see if that's going to help us.
cool.
Because you look like you're calling from no, actually, you won't. There's a few good examples. Anyway, so not focusing on that. Thanks for listening, guys. Do all that wonderful stuff, Bruce.
Cool. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, share. This has been the Spaghetti Junction podcast. My name
It
is
has
Bruce.
been, and my name happens to be Gareth.
Awesome. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
See you guys later. Cheers, bye.